Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, depending on what time you're listening. Pick a correct salutation that suits you. This is June Robinson, and welcome to the third episode of Cut the Monologue. I know, it has taken me a very long time to release this third episode, but everything I recorded for the third episode seemed to not work for me, and I hope that this one will. So, again, welcome to Cut the Monologue, and on this podcast, we are unapologetically loud. So, on this third podcast, I want to talk about black tax and the implications that it has on us young adults, especially when we are navigating our way through life and trying to find success and just setting up our lives for the future. So first of all, what is black tax? So black tax is either, depending on how you're looking at it, it can either be an unnecessary obligation or a necessary obligation to financially support extended family members and also nuclear family members who are less fortunate. I'm using the term financially because most of the time the support is usually only financially. Let's be real. You get called to either support a child going to school or, just something that needs some financial assistance. So for many of us, myself included, success and making it in life, if I might use that term, making it, also means that you are expected to help out and support your family. Your success is not only yours, your success is yours and the rest of the family. And this could either be an unfair burden or a necessary responsibility, depending on how you view the scenario. What do I mean? I mean, what impact does your financial assistance back home have on your family members? When you are assisting people back at home, does your financial assistance go a long way, or is it just that instance where you're just sending money for the sake of, I'm working right now, I need to send money? So what impact does your financial assistance back home have? Are there many home projects that need you, that you are required to chip in, or is it just one of those scenarios where you're just sending money for the sake of sending money? So, depending on how you view your scenario of being black taxed, it depends. Do you see it as an unnecessary responsibility or an unnecessary responsibility? I know for some of us, you're usually called and you're told, send us some 1,000 shillings, send us some 500 shillings, but then nothing meaningful is usually being done with that money that you're sending. You're either sending that money for someone's personal enjoyment, or you're simply sending that money for, just for someone to feel like, oh yes, you owe me this because in the past I have done 1, 2, 3 to you, and for that reason, if I ask you for money, you're going to send it. Or is it a scenario where there are troubles happening at home and the money that you're sending is really going to go a long way in solving these troubles and also in providing long-lasting, sustainable solutions? So after you've defined whether this financial assistance that you're constantly giving at home, whether it's necessary or not, I'd like to get deeper into the discussion and discuss about, are our family members entitled to the financial assistance given? And this is tied to the cultural and moral codes that are associated with it. For a lot of us African African youth, we have been brought up with a very strict moral code of what to do and what not to do, what to say and what not to say in so many different scenarios. We are also brought up to believe that there are so many curses, for lack of a better word, that are associated when someone does not do something. For example, if you had a goal A and you're supposed to do plan B for you to achieve the goal A, and you decide, no, I'm gonna do a plan Z, then you start getting a lot of this is going to happen to you because you did not listen to us and we are the ones who told you. So I posted this question on family tax on Reddit, and I had some really, really amazing feedback from most of the Redditors. And for a lot of them were saying that, to most people, they still get brainwashed into black tax due to the curses and moral codes. That aspect of, no, this is my father, I need to help him out because he's my father, or it's my mom, or it's my auntie. If I don't do it, then what will they think of me? What will they say about me? They will not, they will close their doors because I will be neglecting family. Or that aspect of, no, they did this to me in the past, and right now if I don't return the favor, then something bad is going to befall on me and I am going to end up not succeeding as I had intended and all that. Personally, I think that those were stereotypes, if I can say so. No, not stereotypes. I think those were ways that they used to brainwash us into believing that you must help this person. For instance, how any person who does a wrong thing usually tries to find either a Bible verse or a life quote that supports their wrongdoing. So for those of us who I call it being guilt-tripped, being brainwashed into falling for these black tax tricks, they use this method of, if you don't do that, a curse is going to follow you all the days of your life. And if that curse doesn't follow you, then they make you believe that curse is going to follow your kids. Like that curse is just going to stay in your generation because you did not do A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. And it's hectic. It's really hectic. This one can drive you to a road of having a lot of mental health issues, mental breakdowns, just a lot of feeling that you are not enough. In this aspect of, you will now be forced to keep up with a situation that you're not able to do solely based on this whole cultural and moral code line. And that's not good. That is not good. But then again, this is family, right? And we are told that you are supposed to believe in family. You are supposed to trust family. You are supposed to stay with family. But family can be both a blessing and a curse with equal measure. With equal measure. And I say this unapologetically, that they are more likely to be a curse in such a situation where they keep on draining you. You are not able to achieve your goals. Every time you are thinking of yourself, you are being told, no, in that list of priorities, you are going to place yourself around number 10. Number 1 is going to be going down all the way to number 10. You are not considered, you should not consider yourself a priority. Also, another mental impact that it can cause is that you can be forced to stay in a job that you do not like. Probably the employer is not treating you right, or maybe it is just not a good working environment. But then you're forced to stay there, because if you take that risk of leaving and maybe following up your dreams, you are stuck with them. But how will my family survive? So your family ends up putting you in a box of a life that you should lead, a life that you should lead, instead of the life that you want to lead. If maybe you had a dream of pursuing an art, let me use that as an example, because we know art, especially, it does take a long time before it starts giving back the amount of energy and time that you give to it. You are maybe forced to stick into formal employment, because we know with formal employment comes a steady income. Once in a while, the paycheck may be late, but at the end of the day, you know it's going to find you. And so you might be forced to stay here and not go looking for your goals and just trying out every single thing to see what works for you. And in the long run, this may lead to resentment of your family members, because one fine day you wake up, you are 50 plus or 70 plus, and you're just like, no, this is not the life I wanted to live. I wanted to have done and all of a sudden, the things that you could have done, they end up being stories that now you tell your grandkids. And funny thing, the cycle only continues. You have seen how black tax did a lot of damage to you, but because you didn't have time to save up for your retirement, you were busy helping out family members who most probably no longer exist, no longer walk on this earth. The cycle continues in that now you end up black taxing your kids, who will in turn, who, if they are not also wise, will end up black taxing your grandkids, who will also in turn, if they are not wise, end up black taxing your great grandkids, and it will just be another long generation of black taxing because of the mistake that was made by those who were there before. So, responsibility of having to take care of everyone also does take a toll on your happiness, because, as I've said, you are forced to not put yourself first. So anything you want, anything you dream of, anything you are aspiring to also means it does not come first on the list. And you are unhappy, or you are for sure, for shizzle with a little bit of razzle dazzle, you are unhappy. You're not contented. You constantly feel sadness, you feel depression, you start pulling yourself away from your friends, or you end up getting into societal behaviors which in real sense they do not make sense to you, but you're trying to fill a void. So how can you protect yourself? There it is. Black tax is existing. Black tax is existing. Sorry again. How do you protect yourself? How do you make sure that your future does not become damaged? That your now is a priority, that your retirement remains a priority, and that you will break this cycle so that your children do not have to go through this. Number one, and I highly believe this, set boundaries. Set boundaries, please. Set boundaries. The one thing that is going to mess you up is if you do not know how to set boundaries. And I will not blame you for not knowing how to set boundaries, because family is a community. Your auntie is my auntie, is their auntie, and at times we call them mom. The term auntie did come with colonialists. Otherwise, we just used to call them mamam dogo, babam dogo, and all that. The whole differentiation of that's an auntie, that's a cousin, it came about when the colonialists came. Otherwise, everyone was your brother and everyone was your mother. So set boundaries. Learn how to say no. No. I want, no. You cannot get it. When you set boundaries, you also learn to control the people who are around you, and that gives you some form of power. And power is everything. Power does not necessarily mean that you're sitting on the most powerful seat on the land, or you are walking around with the most powerful gun or something. Power is also setting boundaries, making people know that this is where you reach and that's it. You do not cross over to this other side. If you cross over to this other side, there will be repercussions, and you will not like these repercussions. Believe you me, they will stay on that other side, and they will be forced to learn to respect your boundaries. The second one is put yourself first. Do not for a second ever think that you are not important. You are important. You are worthy. You are entitled to every single sweat, every single tear, every single thought that you put towards your success. Those hours, be it 5 hours, be it 1 hour, be it 10 hours, be it 12 hours, that you're putting into your job, you are entitled to the happiness that comes with it. You are entitled to that pay that you're being given. Put yourself first. What do I, as Jane Doe, what do I want? What do I, as Jane Robinson, want? I want 1, I want 2, I want 3, I want to achieve 4, I want to start working on 5. Amazing. Set that aside. And that's when now you start thinking of other people. Because if you do not put yourself first, no one is going to put you first. No one is ever going to put you first. You need to be your most important asset. You need to be your most loved person. Because trust me, without you, you will literally die. Without you, then basically you don't exist. Third one, define who is your primary and secondary beneficiaries. I am saying this especially because you can never eat success alone. You can never eat success alone. That is the truth of the matter. And if home needs help, you cannot also run away from that. That is the truth. For I have seen people who have tried to run away from the problems that exist at home, and it comes back to bite them in the ass. Yes, it comes back to bite them in the ass. Define who your primary and secondary beneficiaries are. This helps you in knowing who needs to come first and who can wait a little longer. If you have maybe a brother or a cousin who you're taking to school, where does this person lie in your priority list as compared to someone who is asking you for, 500 bob or 1,000 bob to go and have fun with their friends over the weekend for no good reason other than the reason that you're working and you have money and I don't, and I want to go and have fun with my friends. Set up your priority list. Who needs my assistance more? Because if I give this person attention, my assistance to them is going to go a very long way, and it's not going to end up being a hangover or a headache or a possible visit to the doctor, depending on how much they drink and what they drink. Yeah. The fourth one, do not at any point reveal your sources of income. Do not. Reason being, when you reveal your sources of income, people start planning it for you. Oh, you lose your power. At that point you lose your power, and you're not supposed to lose your power at whatever point. When it comes to family tax or black tax, you are supposed to always be in power. So do not reveal your income sources, because this is tied to setting of boundaries. When you do not reveal your income sources, if you send them 10,000 shillings, they will learn to work with that 10,000 shillings. They will know that 10,000 shillings is what is available, and so how can we navigate with these 10,000 shillings? But the moment you reveal your income sources, it starts being like, why are you only sending 10,000 shillings and we know you earn blah 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 amount of money? Like, I know if you could have sent this, it would have been enough, because what do you have to do with the money? You see, boundaries are broken. They start making you believe that you're not important. Whatever problems they have are the ones that are important. You do not know what you're doing. You're giving us little money, you should give us more money, because you also have more money, so you should give us more money. Do not reveal your income sources. That should be your secret. We have, just don't reveal your income sources. Let them learn how to work with what you give them. 5, how long are you willing to put up with the black tax? Yes. How long are you willing to put up with sending cash every now and again for things that you do not understand why you're sending them for the rest of your life? Or are you willing to educate these people so that they can also learn how to have their own money and how to save up and how to be dependent on themselves? For example, you are maybe taking your cousin to school. Are you willing to take them to school, that is if it's high school, all the way to campus, or are you just going to take them through high school? And if you do take them through high school and through campus, then what's the plan after they finish campus? Are you motivating them that after this point, you need to start being self-sufficient? You need to be able to have a plan. You also need to understand that plans are likely not to work out, but regardless, you need to learn that you need to be self-sufficient. How long are you willing to put up with the black tax? My advice, don't put up with it for the rest of your life. Do not. Let people say you are a bad person. Let people say you're selfish. But don't. For the simple fact that you have a life to live and you need to break the cycle so that your offsprings do not end up going through the same thing that you're going through. Talk about money and empower people on how to make their own. Talk about it. Money is everything, and at the same time, money is probably nowhere. Talk to people about sustainable ways of making money so that they can start making money on their own, and this cycle can stop. This whole cycle of feeling like, oh, I am entitled to your money. I did 1, 2, 3 before, and now you need to give me back the money. No. Break the cycle. And the funny thing, the whole aspect of how to make money and just the money talk, I did not. No, I did. I had the money talk at home. But from most of my friends, the money talk never really exists. Like, I've read a couple of books. I have talked to my dad. It's a really important thing, but I don't know why it's not talked about in many households. You're not being told on how to measure your expenditure per month. You're not empowered on how to make more money, but talk about money. Empower people to make their own money, because no one knows tomorrow. And if you are the sole provider of your home and something happens tomorrow, then what happens? What's next? What's next for the people left behind living? What's next for them? Everyone needs to be able to support themselves financially, because if something goes south, if you have one sole provider and something goes south to that person, then what next? You all go back to square one. So that is black tax, as per my discussion, as per my opinion. If you feel, lovely listener, that there maybe is something that I have not touched on, don't feel shy to comment. Leave a comment, let me know. Let other listeners know more things about black tax. But until the next episode, I am your lovely podcaster, June Robinson. This is Cut the Monologue, the show where we are unapologetically loud. Peace out.